All right, we got some massive news for Nikola stock investors today that's sending the stock price down almost 30% on the news. So I'll discuss what the latest developments are, why it's sending the stock price down, and why this move was necessary from Nikola's management. So let's take a look here.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so Nikola is implementing a reverse stock split. On June 20th, they announced that they unanimously approved a reverse stock split at a ratio of 1 to 30. It's going to commence following the close of business on June 2024, and this news is filed on June 20th. So on a split adjusted basis, we'll begin trading on June 25th. So Nikola was approved to do something in the range of a reverse split between 1 to 10 or 1 to 30. And the reason they want to do this is because their share price had been below $1 per share, which is against the rules for a stock exchange listing. And so in order to maintain its position on the listing, it needed to do a reverse split so that the share price could increase. Now, this increase in share price is not going to be because the company's valuation is improved. It's just going to make each share larger. It's the opposite of a stock split. It's a reverse stock split. So a reverse stock split exchanges a fixed number of existing shares for a smaller number of shares, resulting in new shares having a higher price per share. At a ratio of 1 to 30, every 30 shares of Nikola common stock will automatically convert into 1 share of common stock, and the stock price will initially increase proportionally. I love how they put initially, because Nikola's stock price has just been on a straight downward path, and even though this move will initially lift the stock price, the management's saying it's likely going to move down. And unfortunately, I don't mean to smile, because I know many of you have lost significant sums of money on Nikola stock. It's down 29% today, and if we look longer term, Nikola's share price is down 96.65% off its highs. Now, this could have all been avoided. I had been telling investors to avoid Nikola stock for several years now. Before I came on YouTube, I was writing articles telling investors that Nikola is not a good stock to invest in. The company is losing significant sums of money on the bottom line, and the investments in growth are going to take so long that the company may not survive until then, or if it does, the profits coming back are not going to compensate for all of the losses that have been incurred up to that point. I last updated my recommendation and reminded investors to sell whatever they could of their Nikola shares on May 7th. Hopefully you took that advice. Hopefully you have avoided this disaster. If not, this is not a buying opportunity. I'll remind investors that this reverse stock split is not a buying opportunity. As management says, this will only initially increase the stock price. Right? It's like, I share this example when I'm doing a video for a stock split as well. It's like, think of a box of pizza, right? And think of these stock splits as just how you're slicing that pizza. When you're doing a reverse split, it's like you're taking a box of pizza, and instead of having a bunch of small slices, you're just leaving the whole pizza large. You're not cutting it up. You're actually putting them together again and making a larger slice of pizza so that you can have just one instead of 30 smaller pieces. And the stock split is the opposite. It's taking 5 slices of pizza and slicing them into smaller pieces so that you have 50 slices of pizza. Right? It's just a different way of cutting up the pizza. It doesn't change the overall size of the pizza. You're not getting any more or any less. Your existing shares, your existing slices are getting bigger or smaller. And in this case, your existing slices are getting bigger. You still have the same amount of pizza. Your size of pizza is not changing. All right, I wanted to share with you the company's latest results as my justification for why I've continuously told investors to avoid Nikola stock. And it's because the company is losing so much money with so little revenue and so little growth. In the latest quarter, it produced 43 trucks and shipped 40 of them for a total revenue of $7.5 million. And just the gross profit, the gross loss on these was $57.5 million. The overall loss from operations was $145 million on revenue of just $7.5 million. So it's losing 20 times the amount of money on the bottom line as it's generating in revenue. That was the latest quarter, right? And they've had other problems as well. They're still trying to fix the battery electric trucks that they were selling before they switched to the hydrogen powered. And they've only really returned one of those. They're still fixing them. Now they extended the deadline. They said now it's by the end of 2024. They're hoping to fix them. I wouldn't be surprised if that gets pushed out even further. And this is all coming at the expense of investors. The company keeps diluting shareholders, selling more and more and more stock to fund these losses. That's where the money is coming from, to fund these losses. Investors are giving the company money, and the company is then proceeding to lose that money. Okay? And there is no end in sight for these losses. They're going to continue, management has said, at least until 2026. And given their recent troubles, I wouldn't be surprised if those losses are extended further. So that's why these reverse stock split has been necessary, is because the stock price has fallen so much that it was risking getting delisted from the stock exchange. And so it needed to do a reverse split so that the shares can be over $1 per share, so that it can remain on the listing, on the exchange. Although, as management said, this is only an initial increase. I wouldn't be surprised if the stock price keeps falling further after the initial rise in the reverse split. The company needs to get things on a sustainable footing in order to reduce these losses on the bottom line and keep the stock from falling further. There's only so much money investors can give this company before investors will say, okay, no more. We're not going to keep giving you money because you keep losing the money. The investments you're making are not paying off as we thought it would. And it just seems like a never-ending loss machine. So, as I've said before, Nikola stock is not a buy. In fact, I've told investors to sell Nikola stock, and I'll remind investors that I'm updating that recommendation here and keeping the stock rated as a sell. Did you know that over 90% of the people that watch my channel are not subscribed? It'll really help support my channel if you hit that subscribe button. And oh, by the way, one of the benefits of being subscribed is that I take requests from subscribers more often than I do from non-subscribers. So if you prefer that benefit, please subscribe to the channel.